Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta. My name is Desria Seay. My pronouns are she, her, and I want to thank you all for coming out today to create a beloved community, acting together with compassion, reason, and respect, empowering us to promote a just society. Here in the CSRA, I want to remind us that we reside on the lands of the Westo people, the Savannah-Shawnees, and the Eochi peoples of the Muskoka Confederacy. My name, as I already said, is Desria, and I'm co-creating this service with the Faith Formation kids with me behind us, Mr. Matt, Mr. Joseph, our music director, the talented folks back there running our tech deck, and you, all of you. We are all shaping this moment together. There's a lot going on here at the UUCA, and today I'm just going to promote the installation of our Reverend Nick. That service is coming up, and it is on August 19th, Saturday at 7 p.m. 1 and 12, that's what I thought. Oh, 2 p.m., okay. I'm sorry. Saturday, August 19th at 2 p.m. I want to invite you all to come out and celebrate us as we celebrate our new minister. Not so new, but our minister. To find out more about these things and other important upcoming events, please review the second page of your order of service, recent announcements that are delivered to your emails, community voices posts that are on round, or the monthly newsletter. So many ways to get the information. But if you're not signed up for any of these important communication tools and want to find out more about our many ministries here, please fill out one of those cool little blue cards that are in the seat pockets near you. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. We just started Threads as well. And many of this info can be found on the bulletin boards out in the hallways or on the common area TV. As always, we hope you'll linger with us after the worship service for a conversation and fellowship together during our coffee hour, either on Zoom or if you're with us in person in the back in the common room. So whether you're here in person or joining us virtually, we welcome you and we celebrate all of who you are.
Be it real or metaphor, whatever's in your backpack or your briefcase or your purse that you brought into this sanctuary that is weighing you down, leave it behind. Whatever you're carrying that is keeping you distracted or caught up in shame, guilt, or hopelessness, leave it behind. If you need it, it'll be there once we're done. But for this hour, just let it go. Come into this place with open hearts. Come into this place with a soul that remembered how to be tender again. Come into this place with a renewed hope for this world. Come into this place ready to build a world that we've always been worthy of and have always dreamed of.
Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 116, I'm on my way. I'm on my
My name's Elise Taylor, and I'm volunteering today to do Joys and Sorrows. If you would like, please come up front to my side. And those on Zoom, please use the raised hand icon. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Sure. We were talking about families at school. The teacher asked us what we thought made our family special. I went last because I wasn't sure what to say. My family is not like everybody else's. My mom and dad have been best friends since first grade. They really like each other. It's kind of gross. Oh. There are lots of kids in our family. Mom and dad just keep coming home with more. Oh. Both my moms are terrible singers, and they both like to sing really loud. Sorry if you're not seeing the pictures. I have more grandparents than anybody else that I know. We have a new baby in our house. I think my mom ordered him online. My God, this... Many pictures that I have to wait for. We all look alike in my family. We just kind of go together. One week Mom gets me, the next week Dad does. Fair's fair. Oh. Some people say I look like my dad, and some people say I look like my mom. I think I look like myself. That's the way to do it. My mom says that before I was born, I grew in her heart. Because I live with my grandmother, people sometimes think that she's my mother. She's not. She's my everything. Some of the kids were dads when he met Mom. Some were moms when she met Dad. Now we all belong to each other. One of my dads is tall and one is short. They both give good hugs. I listened to everybody else, and then I remembered the time someone saw us all together at the park. She asked my foster mother to point out her real children. Oh, I don't have any imaginary children, Mom said. All my children are real. A family is a family is a family. Okay. So, do any of you beloved children have any questions or comments about what your family is like? Ira? Yep, that sounds like a very fair rule. Mackerel. Charlie?
So, my family is like, stop asking me for more time on
You. What's your name? Manuel. Yeah. Sounds very fun. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Oh, Elise?
A family is basically, everybody doesn't have to look alike to be a family.
That is very true. Okay, anybody else? Charlie again.
I think that this is probably not my story, but I'm still going to say it. So, I think what's special about the family in the book is that they're special for not knowing that they're special. I don't know.
Okay. Any more raised hands? Okay. I release you all into the wild.
I invite everyone to ground yourself, get comfortable, and just chillax. And I'm going to be reading a meditation called Brick by Brick, written by Meg Barnhouse. All summer, workers have been building a brick wall along the road by my neighborhood. Against the brutal heat, they stretch a tarp overhead to get a little shade. I've watched them take bricks in their dusty brown hands one by one, butter them thickly with mortar, line them up, tap them down row by row. One man looks to be in his 70s, is the leader. His skin the color of bittersweet chocolate, his beard gray, slender and tall, moves from one group of brick lays to the next, reaching and bending, looking like I don't know how to read that word. Heron? A heron in the marsh. When he pauses, he stands up very straight. I see him teach the others how to do the work. He stoops over to look at the line of bricks, hands on his thighs, inspecting the work. Sometimes as I drive by, I see him put his hand on the back of the person he's teaching. Often they're both smiling. It looks like he loves what he's doing. I wonder how he could love building walls. Day after day, handling bricks, teaching the art of laying bricks. Is it teaching that he loves? Seeing how his students learn what their styles are and how their work shows their character. Does he love the wall itself? Does he know about when it'll be done? Does he look forward to seeing it finished? Or does he love the process, the feeling of the bricks in his hands, the squish of the mortar, the challenge of making the symmetry of the pillars and arches, the geometry of it? I think from the look on his face that he loves the process. I imagine that he never thinks about the end project, but the end project, the completion of the wall. I think that he'll go on to the next wall as if it were just a continuation of this one. Then the next one and the next, and never will be bored. I want to be like that. And I am, I guess, I'm not the minister, as volunteering for the church. The bricks are the stories. I hear stories of family and work, stories of loss and reconciliation, stories of rejection and disaster, illness and healing, birthing and dying. I tell stories every Sunday, well, I don't tell stories every Sunday, but in between teaching, challenging, confessing, inviting people to learn and laugh and think. Brick by brick, story by story, we build a church seeing the patterns, the symmetry, the plain joy of setting one story on the other, sustained by the strong and beautiful structures they make. We will never be finished, but that's okay.
Christensen. Unitarian Universalism is a grand vision. In a world filled with peace and justice. Silence. Sorry. Let me try that again. These words were written by Heather Christensen. Unitarian Universalism is a grand vision of a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. That vision is embodied in a few large congregations, numerous mid-sized congregations, and many, many small congregations. No matter its size, every congregation depends on each of its members, each one of you. By your commitment of time, energy, and resources, that helps make a grand vision real. Individually and together, we are Unitarian Universalists, building a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. Would the ushers please come forward? Alora, Charlie, and Ira. Thank you. Thank you so much for your generosity.
I want to thank you all for coming out today, this sunny day, and to build this and create this moment with me. It's my first time out here, so I ask y'all to bear with me. And I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about my history and my upbringing and what was modeled for me, if you'll give me your time. So when I think back on my life, I think about how modeling was done by my loved ones and my caregivers who shaped who I am today. Just take the food I eat, for instance. My grandmama, who raised me, she raised me hand in hand with my mama, would often remark if a plate didn't have beans, well, where's your beans at? See, my grandmama, she didn't think a plate was complete without a meat, usually fried, a leafy green of some kind, turnip greens usually, occasionally mustards, collards, and some bread, usually yellow cornbread, sometimes hot water cornbread. We didn't really get many rolls much as it was pretty labor intensive, so I always look forward to the holidays when my grandmama would make the best batch of homemade yeast rolls. During the week, we usually drank water, except for on Sunday when we got sweet tea or a light-colored soda. No dark sodas for the kids as it was bad for our kidneys. And it was way too much caffeine for us little ones. See, this step-by-step example of nourishing my body directly following a blessing over the food was modeled for me. It was my core example and a fundamentally vital part of my existence. For me, this was what it looked like to feed oneself. So when I think about the music I listened to, for example, it was equally mixed with secular and sanctified. See, y'all, my granddaddy was the music director of the men's choir at the Pickett Rucker United Methodist Church. It was the oldest established black church in my hometown of Lebanon, Tennessee, tracing its lineage back to the Pickett Chapel that was built in 1827. And it's still in existence. See, I'm going up yonder and rough side of the mountain, or some other Negro spiritual or hymn was sung or hummed almost daily in my home. Within the same body was a man who wasn't afraid to serenade his loved one, his boo thing, or as I lovingly called her, my grandmama. See, I watched and I listened as a child as he sang the lyrics of "You Are My Lady" by Freddie Jackson, or some other song by Luther Vandross or Peebo Bryson. So much was modeled for me in those moments. Marriage, love, music. Music was modeled as being equal parts essential to sharing with our loved ones on this earth, and also in praise and worship to whomever you worshiped in heaven. Both were necessary, needed, crucial even for our spirits. But what else was modeled for me? And should we choose to live a life of modeling with intention? Did they know then that I would come to listen to "Take Me to the King" at the same time with Tamala Mann as seamlessly as I'd listen to Mary J. Blige? Because that's how it was done. And for me, gospel songs weren't just about the worship, but also the culture. It was home. It was peace. It was my tall glass of sweet tea while swinging on the front porch swing in the heat of July. It's what I knew. And as time went on and generations came by, would they know that it would continue to live on through my 3 atheist children, who all count Hallelujah by the Pentatonics as one of their favorite songs. So according to research published in the Pediatric Institute publication, babies and toddlers learn by observing adults, even when those adults aren't intentionally trying to teach them anything. See, when we lived in Colorado, this one right here, everybody would marvel at her southern accent. Here we had this toddler who was born and raised in the mountains of the Rockies, and she had the most lovely drawl of any southern belle. So if we know that the kids are learning by our examples, if we know that they become what they see, what are they seeing? Who are they becoming? What village are we providing? And are we being intentional about building our beloved community? Whether intentional or unintentional, I'm sad to inform you all that for many of our children, TikTok and YouTube have become their village. Y'all, I'm just going to be real with you. I work with the babies all day, every day. For many of our children in the U.S., TikTok and YouTube is what they're seeing. TikTok, 99 minutes of our children's day, and 61 minutes were spent on YouTube. This is measured in an annual report by Custodio. So that means if your school-age child gets the recommended 9 to 12 hours of sleep, that's about 20% of their day. That's their village. 1/5 of their day shaped by an algorithm owned by a group of tech investors whose only mission is to create consumers. 20%, and by any means necessary. Is that what we're choosing? Is that what we're choosing for our kids' futures? Is this the village, the family, the beloved community our children deserve? And are we teaching them how to find comfort during the times we need to decompress? Or as Brene Brown says, are we teaching them how to numb? Now, whoa, Miss D, you may be wondering, why are you attacking me right now? Attacking me and mine for choosing to give our kids a little harmless screen time. After all, us millennials, well, we had cable TV, and the boomers, they had the very first TV programs. And before that, generations prior had the radio, and so on. It's all just entertainment, right? Harmless, albeit modern entertainment. Well, let me tell you why. An article published in the Indian Journal of Psychiatry back in 2018 stated that social media used by minors has significantly increased and has been linked to depression and suicidality. Simultaneously, age-adjusted suicide rates have steadily increased over the past decade in the U.S., with suicide being the second most common cause of death. These are our babies, guys. These are our kids, our children. So how do we save our children? Our children right here in our city, our town, our community, our families, this church. We save them by saving ourselves. We model healthy decompression methods and activities. We are out here scrolling ourselves. So let's figure out, why are we scrolling? We're scrolling through our feeds for that dopamine it releases. We're scrolling, and we know this We know this because we're going to do about that constant need of our neurological hit of dopamine. That's why we're doing it. In an article published in the Harvard Business Review, it said that 77% of us are even scrolling at work, y'all. I step on a toe or two. Stepped on mine. 3 out of the 4 of us are scrolling when we should be working. Now tell me, just what would you say if your school called you up and said, "I'm sorry, Miss Jones, I can't seem to reach your child in social studies because of their constant scrolling"? I bet for many of us that scenario is not too far-fetched. What are we teaching the children? So within our Christian tradition, in Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's what my grandmama did. She trained me. That's what my granddaddy did. He trained me. My family, my teachers, my coaches, my mentors, my community, my church, they trained me. The good, sometimes bad, and occasionally times ugly, but they trained me. Within our Jewish tradition, it says in Deuteronomy 4:9, "Only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen, or let them fade from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them." In other words, family, we got to take caution so that we don't forget the things we know to be right. What we've read, the wisdom we've learned throughout the years. And when you know better, you do better. And when you do better, then teach the children. I mean, y'all, we don't even got to search scriptures and traditions. We can just look at the animal kingdom. We see the adults protecting, showing the young the way. Turn on National Geographic. And there they are, the herd, the flock, the pod, showing their children the way. Please notice I said herd and flock. I didn't say mamas and daddies. It's not just on the parents. It's on the village. So as I close, if what I said moves you any way, I beseech you, I beg of you, teach the children. Get involved with Navigators this fall as a volunteer. Reach out to me about becoming a mentor in our coming of age programs that's restarting in September. Become a facilitator in our Makerspace programs, or volunteer to work in our upcoming Parents Night Out ministry. Or come help me and Mr. Matt in our summer camps. And last but not least, come visit us in the family ministry wing. Come play with us on the playground. We need you. They need you. But most of all, you need them. Yes, I said we need them because we are family. We are all a part of an interdependent web of existence. And y'all know that's just a you fancy way of saying we're family. That's all that means. You and I, they and them. So let's be intentional about how, when, and where we fellowship with one another. Blessed be, and thank you. All right, guys. Now we're going to bless some backpacks. All right? But before I do this, I want to say 10 million thank yous to this man back here, Mr. Matt. We had a wonderful day camp experience this summer. The children, the village, the memories, the friendships, indescribable. And not just with the kids, with me and him as well. So I want to say thank you a million times. Thank you. And now, will my kiddos who have backpacks come right up here to the front. We're going to do some blessing. All right, so guys, I want y'all to listen to me. I want to send you all off into the school year. Spirit of life and hope and love. For many of us, school starts this week. Some of us are excited about new beginnings. We are eager to start a new school year, or to get a new classroom, or maybe even move to a new school. Some of us are homeschooled. We have new beginnings too, just not in the same way. A new year means new subjects, new levels of things we'll be expecting to do. Some of us are excited about new beginnings, and Holy Spirit be with everyone who's looking forward to what lies ahead. Some of us are nervous about what's coming. Some of us are scared. And some of us try hard to be big and brave, and that's not always easy. For some of us, school is a place where we really don't want to be. In Spirit of Life, be with everyone who is nervous about what lies ahead. May each person's backpack be their friend, reminding that they are unique and special and very much okay. May their backpack hold special things to help them remember how strong they are, and remind them of the people who believe in them and love them always. Sacred Spirit, be with these young people. Help them remember their values, and let their lives be guided by the principles of our shared faith. May this new year be for each one filled with fun, adventures, and special. And may love be with all these young people, this day and every day. And may they always know that here, in this fellowship, Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta, they can find new hands.
Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. Says do.
As we part now one from another, let these be our thoughts. If that which is most holy lies within the human person, and if the greatest power in the world shines flickering and uncertain from each individual heart, then it is easy to see the value of human associations dedicated to nurturing that light. The couple, the family, the religious community. For the power of good in any of us must at times waver. But when a group together is dedicated to the nurturing the power of good, it is rare for the light to grow dim in all individuals at the same moment. So we borrow courage and wisdom from one another to warm us and keep us until we're together again.